What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the boxing clinic one time for the one time enter the LDBC. Hopefully everybody had a good 4th of July. Let's talk about the bullshit, and some motherfuckers just want to be like, you're a pro-black channel because you're black, you're this, you're that. I call bullshit where I see bullshit, and this is complete bullshit from head to toe, from sky to ground, and basically, if you haven't been following, Anthony Dirrell and Callum Smith have been sanctioned to fight for Badou's Jack Vacant Super Middleweight WBC Title. It was signed to go down sometime later this summer, I believe, in Los Angeles. Okay, they both agreed, and I guess signed to fight in Los Angeles. Now, for some odd reason, after the fight is being signed, Anthony Dirrell wants to move the fight to Flint, Michigan. Now, if you pretty much haven't been informed, Flint, Michigan is going through a water crisis, and it's probably creeping up on almost a year since it really been full blown. And their water is poisonous. What happened was they used to get their water from Detroit, and they switched to get their water from somewhere in Flint, and it was poisonous. And I pretty much found out that they can't get their water back from Detroit again, just for the simple fact that their pipes and under the water are eroding. And quick food for thought: the only reason why it raised concern, amongst on a national level, or was alerted to government officials, is not because the people were getting sick in the city of Flint. It was a simple fact that the General Motors plant in Flint, the water, I guess when it goes through some type of shit like metal finishing, the water was so bad that it was eating through the metal in the cars, or was messing the cars up or something like that in the metal of the cars. So they alerted government officials, and they made it where the Flint plant gets good water, but not yet the city, and the governor still hasn't been dealt with. But I think that is an issue right there alone. I know people have done shows and stuff up there, and I'm pretty sure they got to boil their water and all that. I think that's a concern from Callum Smith and Eddie Hearn. And two, you just look at what happened at Brisbane and Toledo, Ohio, this past Friday and Saturday. And honestly, do you think Callum Smith really wants to go to Anthony Dirrell's backyard and for his first world title shot? Absolutely not. I wouldn't go anywhere close to his backyard. Anywhere in the Midwest, anywhere close to that shit, would I go there, to fight him. Especially when we already agreed on a neutral site in the United States, which is Los Angeles, which, still favors him in his country. But I think he's yet to have fought in Los Angeles, Anthony Dirrell. So this is fuckery right here at its finest, And on top of that, Callum Smith wants to enter the World Boxing Super Series Richard Schaefer Ring Star Tournament, which has $20 million in prize money, and had the opportunity to, as long as this fight was going to be sanctioned, for a bout in that tournament. It was offered. Anthony Dirrell declined to enter the tournament, so Callum Smith can't go, according to Eddie Hearn, which I usually takes Eddie Hearn shit for a grain of salt, but sounds legit here, So Callum Smith can't put his name in that hat. And I don't know why Anthony Dirrell doesn't want to join the tournament. Maybe he doesn't want to travel to the UK after his brother got robbed by Carl Froch in their eyes. And maybe, I don't know, Richard Schaefer and Al Heyman, I thought they still had a good working relationship, but maybe it's just Anthony Dirrell doesn't want to compete versus the best. And that is what it is, man. And that's the update on the bullshit. I feel bad for Callum Smith. Now they're trying to pull this shit. Eddie Hearn is talking to Maurice Suleiman about, this shit, and he said he's not going to let it happen. But at the end of the day, you're a fucking sanctioning belt body. You shouldn't have anything to do with the business side of what's going on. You're a belt. Be a belt. You sanction fights. You make number one contender status. You approve fights. Let it in there. These sanctioning bodies are getting too much power as well. Let Al Heyman and Eddie Hearn figure this out. They got a good working relationship as well. Anthony Dirrell is an Al Heyman fighter. Callum Smith is with Eddie Hearn. They'll work it out, and hopefully it stays in Los Angeles. Eddie Hearn said that, Callum Smith has family that book flights and hotels already, and you can't be accommodated for flights. Once your flight is canceled, you already get some flyer miles down the road, but that's it. There's no refund on the flight, and hopefully this fight lands in Los Angeles, California. Like I said, I'd love to see Callum Smith and Anthony Dirrell, flourish at a neutral site. This is your boy CJ Goodfellow with the Boxing Clinic. We gone.